4 years ago, I started my own law firm. I was able to turn a profit in my first year. And in my second year, I was back at earning six figures. So I'm going to tell you how I did that, starting with the 5 ways that I was able to attract clients to my law firm. This was a big deal because my last firm ended in a lawsuit. And so even though they were supposed to reach out to my clients and let them know how to contact me, they didn't do that. So I had to start with gathering my clients from scratch. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Abby the attorney on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Each one has different things to offer. Here on YouTube, I'm going to start a series about how I started my business. And I've deliberately kept my business small, even though it's earning very well, because I want the freedom to travel. So you will find on my other social pages that I am traveling, I am talking about parenting, I am talking about menopause. So if you want to follow me on those pages, please feel free to do so. I would love to have you join me. Now, let's get into the 5 ways that I was able to immediately attract clients as soon as I opened my law firm without being able to contact my prior clients, without having any foundation or reviews on myself, because I never actually planned on being an entrepreneur. So, number one, text your website to every single person in your address book. That is going to include your people that you ghosted, one-time hinge dates, former employers, every single person, because you never know where you're going to get a return. At this point in my career, I have had more referrals from people who did not even respond or acknowledge that text message than from friends and family. So just don't hold back. Get over the cringe of it. As soon as you have your website functional, up and running, you're going to sit down and take time to text it to every single person, or you can use an application like Reach that will do it for you. You can include some intro if you would like to, but oftentimes texting the website and just saying, if you know someone who is working or if you know someone who needs immigration help, please have them contact me here. If I had my Calendly link at that time, which I did not have, which people can click on to schedule appointments, I may have sent the Calendly link as well, but I did not have it at that time. So get over the cringe. Number one, text everyone. Number two, Facebook groups. Now, a lot of people join Facebook groups and they end up just fighting inside the group. You don't want to do that. You're going to be strategic. My field is immigration. Whatever your field is, you're just going to observe what's happening in each group first. What are the dynamics of that Facebook group? Does the person who owns the group actually allow other people to respond and comment fully, to give their contact information? Or do they exert more control over it because they want all the clients for themselves? So, first, you're just observing the dynamics. Now, after you've taken a day or two to observe the dynamics in each group, you are going to start responding to people's questions. So, for example, I might have someone ask, "I have domestic violence in my marriage. Should I pursue a U visa or should I pursue VAWA?" I'm going to answer that question fully and completely right there out in the open. I'm not going to ask that person to DM me. I'm not going to ask that person to schedule a consult with me, because your goal in these first several interactions is just to let people know that you are knowledgeable, that you are sympathetic, that you are understanding. And if they want to get more information from you, they will ask. And at that point, you can give them your Calendly link to schedule a consultation. But in the beginning, you are just answering questions fully and completely. Get yourself established and designated as an expert in that group. And you're only going to answer questions that are in your subject matter that might turn into clients. Okay. So if it's a person complaining about their attorney or a person just complaining in general, I don't have a sponsor, I don't have any pathways available, you're not going to spend time in those questions. You're only answering questions where the person may turn into a client, or you can use your answer as an audition for a potential client who might be reading it. So very conservatively, you're using these. After you've been well established in your Facebook group for a while, you can start sharing your social media post to various Facebook groups. And these are not social media posts where you're asking for clients. They are social media posts where you're giving general updates on what's happening in the world of whatever your practice area is. So, for example, if a deadline is changing in a particular date, then you can make a post on your social media as for the deadline change and then share that into the Facebook groups. You're familiarizing people in the groups with seeing your name, with knowing that you're an expert, so that when people come into the group and say, I need an attorney for X, Y, and Z, you're going to be on the top of the group's mind to recommend. Have I obtained clients from Facebook groups? Absolutely. I would say Facebook groups are the number 3 source of where my clients come from. And even if the person themselves does not become a client, they're passing my name on to other people who are reading my comments in those groups and also referring people to me. All right. Number 3, AVO. Now, I made the mistake in my career of thinking I was always going to work for law firms. So I never claimed my AVO profile. I allowed people who wanted to leave positive feedback for the firm, for me, to just do it on the firm's site or the firm's Google information. If I were you, I would claim my AVO long before that time and allow it to build reviews, because I was coming into AVO with 0 reviews. Anyway, even if you come in like me with 0 reviews on AVO, you can still use this platform in order to obtain clients. And here is how you're going to do it. First, you're going to claim your profile and then build your profile. Okay. It has a feature where you're able to write what they call guides and then post them to your profile. So I wrote a guide and I will insert it here if I can, on things to read, or read this before you try to expedite your asylum case. I wrote another guide that was unconventional evidence in I-130 filings. So for people who don't have financial records, but they are married, they don't have joint financial records, but they are married, other things they can use to prove that they are in a bona fide marriage. Use those guides, use that opportunity to write these guides, and then post them to your LinkedIn, post them to your social media. You're building your AVO profile. Then you're going to go in and start answering questions. Whenever possible, when you're answering someone's question, which you're only answering if it is an issue that can lead back to them becoming a client. When you're answering these questions, as much as possible, point to the guides that you have written on AVO that are already readily available. You're also going to be answer these questions fully and completely. You'll see that there are many attorneys on there who basically give a one-liner and then say, contact us for more information. You're not doing that because you're building your AVO credibility and you're building your reviews. When you start seeing the same attorneys over and over, and you will, you'll go ahead and leave them a review that you've seen them give good commentary and good consults for other people, and they'll leave you a review in kind. Most of them will. And then whenever you give someone a review and they let you know that the information was helpful to them, you can also ask them if they can leave an AVO review for you. That is perfectly acceptable. Have I gotten clients off of AVO? Absolutely, yes. This is a great resource, and I've never paid for it. You will start getting calls from the agents who work there about paying for a profile, which will allow you to get a higher star rating, because they cap you at like 6 or 7 stars unless you're paying for the service. It has not hindered me that I continually use the service without paying for it. Nobody has ever said, no, I only want an attorney who has 10 stars. I think they understand that you can only get 10 stars if you're paying for the platform. So that's how I use AVO. The next thing that I did to get clients was to volunteer. You can look at what is going on in your community and figure out is what volunteer opportunity is close to what your practice area is. So for me, the volunteer opportunity that I took up was with Catholic Charities, and it actually served two different functions. One function, obviously, was that I'm interacting with the public, with people who need an immigration attorney. I am having casual conversation with the other volunteers who are working there. So I am able to directly speak to people who can become clients and speak to the other workers who may refer people to me. And the other purpose it served is that we were doing a community food drive. And surprisingly to me at the time, people do not pick up all the food from the community food drive. And so when we were done serving in the morning, it was always Thursday mornings, there was always a ton of food left over. So I would oftentimes be able to get 2 packs of meat, all the fresh vegetables, and a ready-made hot, meal for that day. So with me being a person who was starting a new law firm from scratch, it was really good to be able to take advantage of that food resource and also be able to get clients at the same time. So you can look for your practice area, what kind of volunteer activity makes sense for you, and you can maybe find one that serves two purposes like mine did. And the last thing I did to obtain clients was utilize my local library. Now, I'm in Washington, D.C., so it may be a little bit different, but our local libraries very often they host small business workshops. And I was lucky that around the time that I started my law firm, they were hosting one of these full day small business workshops, and I was able to go to other relevant businesses, one of them being LADC, the Latino Economic Division Center, and one of them being the Nigerian Center, who both have need for immigration attorneys. With the LADC, I was able to get a speaking opportunity, actually two speaking opportunities with them, which led to me being able to get clients after those speaking engagements. And with the Nigerian Center, it actually turned into from a speaking engagement into a staff attorney position. So I ended up doing staff attorney work for them also, on Thursday afternoon, which led to a lot of the people who came in for consultations being able to turn into personal clients for me because at that time the center was not able to offer full services. And so when it went into over their capacity, I was able to step in and say, hey, I'm an option for you. You don't have to work with me, but I am an option for you if you want me to do these immigration services for you. So I would say, in my first year of practice, being able to get clients from the Nigerian Center, from LADC, I would place that at number two at the ways that I was able to get new clients. And so I did finish the year. In the positive, most people who start businesses, you expect not to turn a profit that first year. I actually did turn a profit my first year and was back to six figures my second year. Now, there are other things that I did to keep my overhead low and to assist with being able to turn a profit for that first year. And I'm going to make further YouTube videos on that in the future. But if you have any questions for now, please leave them below because this is going to be a series. I do feel like I've been very successful for someone who did not plan on being an entrepreneur. In fact, I call myself a reluctant entrepreneur, and I'm happy to take you along this ride. If that is the direction that you're headed as well, ta-ta for now. Until next time.